To sew a proper swimsuit, you need a stretchy fabrics that is majorly jersey material or spandex. This is the measurement chart for one-piece suit for children. This particular chart is you can use it for your regular or you can use it for your raglan. I'm going to be making use of the smallest, the size here, the second size here. That's what we are going to be making use of. So first of all, you will you will have to check the part that is stretchy in the fabrics. So we are going to go towards the side that is fabric. That's where you are going to be putting the side that is stretchy. That's where you are going to be putting all of your horizontal lines. So we are taking the width. Our bust measurement is 26. So we make sure the widest length here is going to be 13. Then that means 13 divided by 2, that's 7.5. So we're going to be putting 7.5 there. Then the swimsuit length is 22. I'm going to make it 24 because I'm going to make it 26 because of all of the allowances there. Half bodies, the half body is going to be 11. Here I'm going to make it 12. While the short part of it, that's the short is 11 as well. I'm going to make it 12. So I'm marking out the after I got the half body, the next thing I'm going to do is go to the half body towards the short size and construct out. I'm going to construct out the short. So the width is 26 divided by 4 is 7.5. So I'm going to measure 7.5 on the waistline, then 7.5 on the hip line as well, on the crotch. Then I'm going to connect. So that is that. Then also at the upper part of it, so you construct out the shirts. You're going to construct out the shirt parts. So you bring out your chest line. Your chest line is your bust divided by 4. Then you mark out your chest line, and I'm using the shoulder of 5 inches. Then the neck opening, I'm using neck opening of 1.5 inches here, so that by the time we sew, it's going to be 2 inches. Then I mark it out. It's just like your normal shirt. That's what we are going to do. But in this time around, you're not going to be putting much of you're not putting allowance. It's going to be zero allowance because it has to be fitted, or it has to be fitted to your client's body. So when you get this, you've remember that the half bodies, look at the way I'm cutting it. I'm still going to change the orientation of it. So remember that we are cutting it together. So all of our allowances are there. So I put both allowances for the upper part and I put allowances for the lower part. So that's what make it 26 instead of 22. But my finish is going to be 22. So I've cut part of it. Then for the second part, which is the back, we are still going to make the front and back measurement to be exactly the same thing because it's a stretchy material. So there's no need of you putting zipper allowance. So in this particular place, I'm cutting out my back as well. I'm not going to put any of the zipper allowance in it. When I'm done, so I can cut out I'll cut out the front neckline. If I cut out the front neckline as well, I will divide it into two so that you see that okay, you can divide it into two. So when I'm done, this just it. So when I'm done, so now I am going to bring out the half lengths. First of all, I will mark it out and bring it out. So it's going to be the half length supposed to be 11. So I'm going to be marking out from the position of 11.5. That's where my half length is. So when I've gotten this, you can see I'm going to change the orientation. This is how it's supposed to be properly. I've changed the orientation. Next is I'm going to bring out since it's going to be it's going to be two colored. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be marking 1 inch away from the edge of, like you can see, I'll go to the side line and measure 1 inches away from it and cut it out. When I've cut it out, I'm going to replace it with the other color I'm going to use to do it. Now I'm cutting out my neckline, my front neckline, because I've not cut it out before. It is 1 inch deeper than that of the back neckline. So when you're done with that, you're going to cut all of you're going to make the raglan now. So the raglan, you can just go up a bit. It all depends on what you want. Then it should be slightly below the natural armhole. It should be half inch below the natural armhole. That's how your raglan sleeve is going to be. So I've gotten that out. I paste the front and the back together and I cut it out. So this particular one, that's what you're going to use to construct your raglan sleeve. Because what make a raglan sleeve is the shoulder plus the sleeve together. So when I'm done, I'm going to cut away from the 1 inch marking that I made before. Then gradually we shall be replacing all these parts. These 5 or 6, we are going to be replacing these 6 parts with the other color. So we are going to be using blue. Also, always try to know the most stretchy part of your fabric. Like this time around, I've already know the stretchy part. So that's I'm going to be cutting according to the direction. So then I paste this. The sleeve length is 4 inches. Since the sleeve length is 4 inches, I'll go to the tip of the shoulder and mark 4 inches. Then also I add 1 inch for my allowance. Then connect this way. Then cut it out. So this is my sleeve. When I'm done cutting it out, I'll also make sure that I mirror it to cut the other. When I'm cutting the other sleeve, because this one is just one part of my sleeve. When I'm cutting the other sleeve, I have to mirror it because this particular one is going to be left and right. If you can't use the left for the right and you can't use the right for the left. So when you are done with that, you will, like I told you before, you are going to, okay, now you cut out the front neckline. You can see that the front neckline is always is deeper than the back neckline. So you take note of that. Make sure you don't forget. Then when you're done with it, the next you're going to do is to cut all of the side panels that you cut initially with the red, and ensure that you put your sewing allowance. So my sewing allowance here, because I'm using a stretchy fabric, I'm going to be
So
using
when you're
sewing
done with
allowance
cutting the lower part of the side
of
panel,
zero point
you
0.5
also do the
inches.
same thing to the upper part of the side panel. Always remember to put your sewing allowance. If not, it's going to be too small, or you're not going to be getting your desired results. So when I've cut the upper part of the sideline, I think gradually we are coming to the end of this particular tutorial. This we are coming to the part of cutting. So the next we shall be doing is emphasize on the sewing. So from the sewing, you can watch out gradually how we are going to sew this. Thank you for watching, and always don't forget to subscribe, share, like, comment. If you have any request, special requests, you can let us know so that if there's something we can work on with you, we'll always be there for you. Thank you for your time and stay blessed. Watch the remaining video if you don't know how to join it. I'm going to be teaching you on how to join it. It's very simple. It's still the basic forms of joining. So that is it. Always ensure that your panel they align together so that as at the time you'll be sewing, you'll not be having disparity in terms of sizes. So thank you, thank you, thank you. You can keep watching. If you still desire to learn how to sew it, I'm going to teach you how to sew it.